What if the harder you chase people, the faster they run away? What if everything you've been doing to make people love you is the exact reason they're losing interest? Most people believe the secret to attraction is giving more, texting more, trying harder, proving their worth, but Stoicism reveals a truth that completely flips that idea upside down. The people who are respected the most, admired the most, and impossible to forget, are almost never the ones doing the chasing. They're the ones who know their worth, protect their peace, and never beg for attention. Today, you're about to discover why people start chasing you the moment you stop chasing them, why desperation silently pushes people away, and how Stoic wisdom can make you naturally magnetic without saying a word. Stay until the end, because the final lesson could completely change the way people see you, forever. Before we begin, hit like, subscribe, and let's uncover the Stoic secret that most people realize only after they've already lost everything. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit: people don't chase what is always available. They chase what has value. And value isn't created by constantly proving yourself, it's created by knowing you don't have to. Think about the moments when you wanted someone's attention the most. What did you do? You replied instantly, canceled your own plans, ignored your own needs, and slowly made your entire world revolve around them. At first, it felt like love. Then it became anxiety. Every message they didn't answer, every phone call they ignored, every moment they seemed distant, started controlling your emotions. Without realizing it, you handed them the power to decide how you felt every single day. The Stoics warned us about this centuries ago. They believed that the moment your peace depends on another person's actions, you've surrendered your freedom. And freedom, once given away, is difficult to take back. People often mistake chasing for love. But chasing usually comes from fear, fear of being abandoned, fear of being forgotten, fear of not being enough. Real confidence never begs to be chosen. It simply exists. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day that your value doesn't come from the opinions of other people. It comes from your character. That's why the strongest people walk into a room without trying to impress anyone. They don't need validation, because they've already validated themselves. Ironically, that's exactly what makes them attractive. Confidence speaks louder than attention ever will. Desperation whispers, confidence remains silent, and somehow everyone still notices it. The problem is, most people spend years trying to earn love from people who never intended to give it. They believe, if I just do a little more, they'll finally appreciate me. But appreciation built on constant sacrifice never lasts. The more you overgive, the more people begin expecting it. What once looked special, slowly becomes normal. And once it becomes normal, they stop valuing it. Not because you're worthless, but because human nature rarely appreciates what it receives without effort. That's why Stoicism teaches balance. Be kind, but don't lose yourself. Love deeply, but never desperately. Give freely, but never from emptiness. Because the person who keeps chasing everyone else, eventually forgets how to chase their own purpose. Have you ever noticed something strange? The moment you stop texting first, they suddenly remember you exist. The moment you stop trying to prove your value, they begin wondering where you went. It's not magic. It's human psychology. People often ignore what they believe will never leave, until one day it does. That doesn't mean you should play games or manipulate anyone. Stoicism never teaches manipulation. It teaches self-respect. There's a massive difference. A manipulative person pretends not to care, hoping someone will chase them. A Stoic genuinely stops chasing, because they finally understand their worth isn't determined by someone else's attention. Seneca once said that the greatest loss isn't losing another person, it's losing yourself while trying to keep them. Think about how many dreams you've delayed, how many opportunities you've ignored, how much peace you've sacrificed, simply because you were too busy worrying about someone who wasn't worrying about you. That's the hidden cost of chasing people. It doesn't just steal your time, it steals your identity. Little by little, you stop asking what you want, and start asking what will make them stay. That's one of the most dangerous habits a person can develop. The strongest people in history weren't admired because they begged to be accepted. They were admired because they stood firm, even when they stood alone. They understood something most people never learn: respect is never requested, it's demonstrated. Every time you abandon your standards just to avoid losing someone, you silently teach them that your boundaries don't matter. And once people realize there are no consequences for disrespecting you, they'll continue doing it. Not because they're evil, but because you've shown them they can. This is why emotionally strong people protect their time, protect their energy, and protect their peace. They don't disappear to punish anyone. They disappear because they refuse to live a life where their happiness depends on someone else's mood. They stop forcing conversations. They stop chasing validation. They stop competing for attention. Instead, they invest in themselves. They build their health, their purpose, their discipline, their confidence. Ironically, that's when people begin noticing them the most. Because nothing is more attractive than a person who is completely at peace with themselves. So, what should you actually do if you want people to value you, respect you, and naturally feel drawn toward you? The Stoic answer is surprisingly simple. Stop making other people the center of your life. Make your purpose the center instead. Wake up every morning asking, how can I become a better version of myself today? Not, how can I make someone choose me today? Those two questions create completely different lives. Start investing in yourself the same way you've always invested in everyone else. Read more. Train your body. Protect your health. Learn new skills. Spend time alone without feeling lonely. Build a life that feels meaningful, even if no one is watching. Because here's the truth. The most attractive people aren't the ones who need attention, they're the ones who don't depend on it. Another Stoic practice is learning to become comfortable with rejection. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will stay. Not everyone is supposed to. The moment you accept that, you stop fearing loss. And when you stop fearing loss, you stop acting desperate. That's real confidence. You no longer chase people, because you trust that the right people will recognize your value without being forced. Remember this, if someone only values you after you've exhausted yourself trying to impress them, that's not respect. If someone only notices you when you're constantly available, that's not love. Real relationships don't require you to abandon yourself. They grow from mutual respect, mutual effort, and mutual peace. Epictetus taught that you cannot control whether someone loves you, respects you, or stays in your life. But you can always control whether you respect yourself. And that's where real freedom begins. The moment you stop begging for what should be freely given, your entire mindset changes. You stop chasing people who don't choose you. You stop wasting years waiting for someone to see your worth. Instead, you become the kind of person who never has to convince anyone of it. And here's the beautiful irony, when you finally stop chasing, when you genuinely focus on your own growth, your own peace, your own purpose, people begin noticing something different about you. They see confidence instead of desperation. They see strength instead of neediness. They see a person who cannot be manipulated by loneliness or fear. That's the energy people naturally respect. Not because you demanded it, but because you've earned it through discipline. So if someone walks away, let them walk. If someone doesn't choose you, let them go. Never shrink yourself just to fit into someone else's life. Never abandon your standards just because you're afraid of being alone. The right people will never require you to betray yourself to keep them. Always remember this one Stoic truth: the moment you stop chasing people, is often the moment you finally start attracting the people who truly belong in your life. Because your greatest power has never been convincing others to love you, your greatest power has always been becoming someone who never needs to beg for love in the first place. And once you understand that, no one can ever take your peace away again. If you're still watching this, comment, I don't chase, below because I want to know who's finally ready to stop chasing people and start chasing purpose. If this Stoic lesson changed the way you think about attraction, respect, and self-worth, hit the like button and subscribe, because this channel isn't here to feed your ego, it's here to strengthen your mind. And remember, the people worth having in your life will never need to be chased. Become the person you're proud of, and let the right people find you. Now click the next video on your screen, because your strongest version is still waiting for you.